Our new team is ready, Commander.
No, Destro, not quite.
What does Cobra Commander mean? Find out in the further adventures of G.I. Joe from Marvel Comics.
Alright guys, as you can tell, it's G.I. Joe week. I was going through my collection. I decided to go... I've been talking about it for a while now. I'm just trying to make room for some other stuff. G.I. Joe is one of those books that I collected when I was a kid. Really loved that series. So I pulled a few books that I'm going to keep. I've read through Robert Kirkman. I think he took over the G.I. Joe and Transformers lines. I could be wrong. I can't remember. Is it Skybound that took it over? And they're going to be, I guess, releasing some omnibuses for G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. They're going to reprint all the Marvel stuff. So I was like, this might be a good time for me to unload some of this stuff. I mean, granted, it's one of my favorite series of all time. It's what really got me into storylines, into collecting a run for just the story. And, ironically, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, for those that don't know, it's basically a glorified toy advertisement masquerading as a comic book. But Larry Hama, the great one, the GOAT, managed to keep it so interesting that I ended up collecting that series for pretty much a decade. The mid-90s, and I pretty much... Issue 150 was like the last issue I bought, and then 5 issues later it ended. But of course we got the Order of Battle here, G.I. Joe. These were all the file cards. I'm not going to open these all up. I'll be here all damn night. Turn into like a 10-part video if I do that. But if you've never seen this, it's pretty cool too. It's a Herb Trimpe wraparound cover. I believe this is the first wraparound cover too that I've ever had seen back in the day. But it's basically with everything that was on their file cards. If you bought the G.I. Joe action figures, they came with file cards and what their capabilities were and a little bit of a backstory. But yeah, this is the only one I really ever bought. This G.I. Joe Order of the Battle, issue number 3. Of course, like everybody else, man, I was more into the bad guys, the Cobra part. G.I. Joes were cool and stuff like that, man, but after you get past like a couple of them, man, it's just like there's like too many of them. First up, we got, these are all the issues I'm keeping. I'm keeping them for a couple of reasons. They're either first appearances. The books are in semi-decent condition. Remember, I had these books in boxes without any bags, boards, or anything like that for pretty much till the late 90s. Then I finally put plastic or the poly bags on them. I didn't even put backing boards on most of these until years later after that. So, but here we got G.I. Joe issue number 11. This is the first appearance of Gung-Ho and Wild Bill. And there's a cameo of Destro in here also, but Wild Bill, and Gung-Ho were real huge during the cartoons. There's old Snow Job. Let's see if I can get some kind of order here. Got G.I. Joe issue number 13. This is another cameo of Destro, but it's in pretty decent condition. So I decided to keep this for my collection. Eventually I might end up buying a bunch more of these back. But when I got coverless books, I mean, they gotta have a cover, man. So here's our first full appearance of Destro. This is G.I. Joe issue number 14. Yeah, as you can tell, I mean, got some loving on it. Got G.I. Joe issue 15. This is a cameo of Major Blood. Still got Snake Eyes' old costume on it. So you can tell it got some fade going on. I mean, I read the hell out of these things when I was younger too. I was like, got issue 16 I kept there. That's the first full appearance of Major Blood in this book. You guessed it, the first cover appearance. I love Major Blood in the cartoon, man. He was probably one of my favorites. Yeah. See if I can put like a clip in. Yeah.
The failsafe activator, Major. An explosive charge was placed in the mine for an occasion just like this.
Now I know how Custard felt. Yeah, I used to run home, man, because G.I. Joe would be on it. Like, we get done with school probably about 3:30. I mean, it was on at 4 o'clock. I mean, I hauled ass getting home just to watch it. G.I. Joe issue. Yep. Actually, I'm going to put this one back for a second because I sort of have my collection in 2 parts right now, but I got issue 21. I got actually doubles of that. They're both in really low grade condition, but I got a total of $6 into them. The first print I picked up at a local show for $1. I mean, it was in there. It was complete. I was shocked, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe it. So threw in some Mylar. Give it the Mylar bump. Then my third print, it's a little bit better looking, but it's not. It got some creasing going on here, as you can see. But this is the infamous silent issue. I don't know if it's infamous, maybe the wrong word. But it's the first appearance of Storm Shadow. Book's been copied probably a couple 100 times. The silent issue. It's actually been done a couple times in the G.I. Joe line. So, but yeah, this is an absolute classic. I'd really like to get a better grade of this book. All right, now we can get to 22. This is the first appearance of Duke and Roadblock. So this is right around the time where I started reading G.I. Joe. I had 1 or 2 issues, but this is when I really started getting into it. Trying to get back issues and stuff. But man, I love the Cobra Rattler too. If I could get one more toy back, I'd probably buy that, the Cobra Rattler. That was just awesome. Just an awesome toy. I had like so many toys, man. It was insane. I had the Terror Dome. I had the Hydrofoil Cobra. I had the Water Moccasin. I took it to school, man. Everybody's passing around. Next up, I got issue 24. This is a cameo of Zartan. Got an awesome Storm Shadow getting tackled by Roadblock, man. But as you can see, it's got some spine roll going, but who cares? And I got the first appearance of Zartan. Got actually 2 copies of that. One's a little bit better condition, the one in Mylar. But not by much. As you can see, the Water Moccasin, the Dragonfly. This one is an actual second print. So this is this is where it starts kicking off with the ninja story of G.I. Joe, which would go on for almost 100 issues, constantly in the background of the story. So it's one of the things that are really missing nowadays. I mean, you're lucky if these series that you get last 25 issues, let alone a series going 155 issues with a storyline that lasts 100 issues. So. But yeah, this is a second print. I decided to keep it. My other one that I got. So this came with a 3-pack. It was issue 2, issue 26, and issue 27. That it was like 3 for $1.99 or something. You can probably still find them on eBay or something. I guess we're probably charging a lot of money for them. They were all second prints. I mean, it was basically to get people caught up and stuff. But speaking of getting caught up, I used to buy the G.I. Joe digest. If you're thinking like, many years ago, like if you go through like a line at Kmart or Walmart or something, you see like the Archie digest. Well, G.I. Joe had the actual digest too. I don't got any of them on, any more of them left, but that's how I got caught up with G.I. Joe. I read through the little digest, I mean. Imagine a book about this big, about that big. Print was like this small. No wonder my eyesight's going. That's how I ended up getting caught up with the whole G.I. Joe storyline. I bought them at the place where I buy all my other comics, and they weren't too expensive at that. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not going out of order here. Got issue 29. Love that cover too, man. It's just got Destro on the cover there. Yeah, this is the first appearance of the Crimson Guard. I think it's a Michael Golden cover. Looks like it. So this issue, not exactly this issue, but my issue that I had before that, I bought this this copy. The cover literally fell off. That's how many times I read it. And this is one of those books that I traded for, like on the school bus. You know what I mean? Traded a kid for another issue. I can't remember what I traded for, but this was one of my first trades. Getting this book. I got this book. I got Crisis on Infinite Earth, the one with it's like a 3-panel where like Superman's on the cover and it's like a flat. I can't remember. I think it's issue like 12 or something. Then I got a Batman and the Outsiders, the Origin of Halo. That one. I can't remember what book it is. I think it's like 23 or something. But I don't remember giving anything away. Yeah, probably gave like ASM 300 or something. No, I'm just kidding. I never read that, but. But it's one of those books that I just can't remember what I gave to him, but I know it wasn't, it was probably some Marvel Toon one or something like that. This cover, man, is awesome too. It's a G.I. Joe issue 31. Just love that whole thing. That whole camera up shooting like that, man. It's pretty badass. I believe it's the first appearance of Spirit in this book, the Native American. Issue 32. This is actually the first appearance of Lady J. I wasn't really too fond of this cover. But Yeah, like I said, it's the first appearance, so I kept it. Alright, G.I. Joe issue 33. I believe this is the first appearance of Billy, Cobra Commander's son. Got the Mike Zeck cover. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Issue 34, probably one of my favorite storylines. Had nothing to do with what was going on with the rest of the book. Well, I should say that. It was a complete story. Like, if you never read a G.I. Joe issue, if you bought this, you'd be satisfied. It's basically a dogfight between Ace and Wild Weasel. Yeah, just showing them flying through like towns and stuff like that, just shooting the shit out of each other. So, probably one of my favorite issues of all time. I rebought it a couple years ago. My original one, again, cover literally fell off it because I read it so many times. Got G.I. Joe issue 35, the John Byrne cover on there. Right as rain, my friend. I think it's the second. That's first print. Again, these were basically advertisements for toys. So the artwork and all that was not yeah, you were gonna get Neil Adams work there. But yeah, this is awesome. I believe these came in a 3-pack also. Not the one I bought. Well, yeah, I think I did buy that in a 3. It came in a 3-pack. So it was probably a second print. I bought this one years ago. Like I said, I needed an upgrade. So issue 37. The first appearance of Tomax and Zaymont. I can't remember if this is the first appearance of Flint too. I'm trying to remember. I think it might be. Love this cover. I think I did two from the tomb on this one. Of course, it's Mike Zeck cover, man. To me, he draws like the best Storm Shadow Snake Eyes. In my opinion, that is. Alright, issue 41. So this is my opinion. Yeah, this is the first Snake Eyes costume that I liked. I think what is it, version 2? So that's my favorite Snake Eyes cover, or costume. He had like many more after that, but this is the, with those visors, man, those 80s visors. Got G.I. Joe 42, another great Mike Zeck cover. Talking about a great cover, man. How about that? G.I. Joe issue 43. G.I. Joe issue 45, the first appearance of Quick Kick. Yeah, Zek, man, this, in my opinion, this is some of his best stuff, man, when he was doing G.I. Joe. The iconic cover there. I actually got this autographed by Mike Zeck. This is one of the issues I got autographed by him. This is G.I. Joe 46. Just love this whole look, man. Definitely, this was definitely on Two from the Tomb too. I had just an iconic cover. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't been homaged more than the I don't think it's ever been homaged, but if I'm doing a homage of a cover, this might be one. G.I. Joe issue 48, first appearance of Sergeant Slaughter. I remember buying these off the rack. It's just blowing my mind just as I'm going through these again. Issue 49. I got 2 copies of that actually. First appearance of Serpentor. Really loved him in the cartoons also, man. He was just this I command. he was something else. The eyeball there, man. Dr. Mindbender and Destro stealing them. G.I. Joe issue 50. This is the first appearance of Zorana. And the giant-sized a sneak peek at the special missions. It's when they go into Springfield, which Springfield was basically a Cobra front. So for those that didn't follow the cartoon or the comics, first appearance of Xandar, Zartan's brother, and Thrasher, both Dreadnoks. I always thought that always cracked me up because these guys are basically illiterate. It says give the gift of literacy. I always like that. It's like, what was that, a front end of a Camaro on the Thunder Machine? I always loved that commercial too. You got iconic again. G.I. Joe issue 53, the 25th anniversary order. Yep, went out of order there. So we got G.I. Joe issue 52, another Mike Zeck cover, drawing Storm Shadow. This is basically when Serpentor goes to Cobra Island. Yeah, Storm Shadow versus Quick Kick, man, that's badass. We got G.I. Joe issue 55, the unmasking of Cobra Commander, Destro, and Snake Eyes. Again, well read, well loved. Issue 60 with the Mike Zeck cover and Todd McFarlane interior. For First appearance of Zanzibar there. I believe Monkey Wrench too. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it's Monkey Wrench in there. Yeah. Issue 76. Let's get focused here, man. The death of the Serpentor. I won't say how he died. But this is the end of the Cobra Civil War. G.I. Joe issue 79. Just a great cover, man. Him chasing Mutt like that. Buzzer. Wheel looks like it's about to fall off the damn bike. I believe this is the other silent issue. Let me just double check before I give you some bad information. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. Yeah, this is the other silent issue. So the thing that Larry Hama had to deal with is the constant upgrading, costume changes. He was able to do a storyline around the Cobra Commander, you know, whatever the hell that was, that space suit looking thing, where he turned it into, was it Fred 7? Made him an impersonator, but he just put on that the Cobra mask. But you can see with Storm Shadow here, I mean, how cool would this cover been if it was just the old costume, you know, the old white, all solid white with the Cobra emblem there? I mean, that would have been badass, but this Storm Shadow costume sucked. Not even gonna lie. I mean, seriously, that would have been cool. Somebody should redo this whole freaking cover. But yeah, Larry Hama had to deal with all that crap. I mean, they were constantly changing these costumes because they want to sell more toys, you know. So he ended up having to write storylines around costume changes. That must have been a freaking nightmare. They always wanted them to use the newer characters and stuff. So now we get into the Snake Eyes part. So I got issue 91, 93. 94. This is the Snake Eyes trilogy. So 93, 96. Yeah, this was a good storyline. So if you ever get a chance to pick this up. It's what every 80s, early 90s kid wants. A bunch of ninjas. But I went out of order a little bit here, so I'm going to backtrack. So again, I could probably splice this video, but that's not how we do it. But issue 84, probably one of my favorite issues. It's the origin of Zartan. It sort of gives really some detail of what happened in issues 26 and 27. So you can tell it's starting to come to a head, but it would be let's see. You know, a couple years later where you would finally get revealed what actually really happened. To what the events that happened in issue 26. So I'm trying to be very vague about this and by explaining exactly what's going on. But with dealing with the Storm Shadow's family, so it all comes to an end here in this issue, and it tells about how Firefly knew what really happened. So it was in the back of the book. Larry Hama was yeah. I have a feeling they were probably debating whether to get him out of there after these couple issues, and he really wanted to get this out real quick. So, but then he would go on to write another 25, actually another 31 issues of G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. So he was on the book for at least another 2 years before they pulled the plug on it. But yeah, those were all the books that I kept for G.I. Joe. I mean, I definitely would like to get some more, but I really don't care for anything that happened after issue 100. Granted, I do like this book. I mean, I've read I've read them all basically. But my like I said, my thing is between issues basically 10 to 100, with the return of the Cobra Commander. Oh, I actually got 2 more books. I forgot to show this one, and I forgot to show another one. But yeah, we're the return of Cobra Commander in issue 100. It's just a really nice copy. And the last issue, this was the last issue of G.I. Joe I bought before I stopped buying them. It was issue 150. And by this time, man, I was, out doing my thing. And I wasn't really too much collecting. I was still collecting, but my pull list was basically down to like Batman, I think, at that time, and like another issue. And I was just finally with G.I. Joe. I can't remember when this came out, but I'm gonna say thought it 94. So out of high school at that time, and I was pretty much done collecting G.I. Joe. The thing that sucks is I wish I would have just finished it. If I knew at the time it was only going to last 55 or go to issue 155, I would have stuck with it. But yeah, let me. I'll show you the books that I didn't keep, but I'll just do a flip through real quick. I put them in 2 different camps. I put them in sort of nice, decent grades, and I put them in low grades, which I'll probably just end up selling them for $1 or something at the flea market. But it's just I gotta make more room, and I'm just keeping certain parts of the storyline. But I do want to like buy the omnibus, because every once in a while I like to go back and just read a single issue, like especially like issue 34 or something in the 30s or something. I love reading that stuff. So. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit longer than usual, but let's see if we can get that flip through here. I'll add it on to the end. Okay, so this is a quick flip through. Just showing these are all my books that are in pretty decent condition. You can tell they're later issue G.I. Joes. 120, 121. 122, 123. I mean, I was still digging it this time, but it was just starting to get, become a chore almost to read it. Yeah, 127, 28. So you can see I got a nice run going here. She got 2 copies. This one's still polybagged. Then at this point, I'm like, okay, man, this is starting to get basically just turned into Snake Eyes, the comic book series. Then we had, of course, the Transformers make appearances. Yeah, so. This is some of my low grade stuff here. You can see 56. It's a little bit out of order. I don't know, I might pull this issue out from my collection, I'm not sure yet. Got some IDW stuff in here. Image. I'd like to get a better copy of this. the cat fight between Zorana and Lady J. Yeah, just like I said, these are books that I picked up through my pull list and picking them up off the rack for vacations and stuff. But I love that cover. There's some Baroness bondage cover. This one goes to all my freaks out there. Another Baroness cover, Francavilla cover. So yeah, it's some of it's just time to move on from. Again, like the last batch I showed here, none of it's in any good condition. Like some of the covers are like literally falling off. You can see on this one, yeah. But alright guys, thanks for watching. Figured it'd be better showing it like this with the non-horizontal, the vertical. So alright guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, my comic book haul returns next week, so can't wait for that. You don't want to miss it. And I'll talk to you next time.